All right, we're here, Chris Yannick, C1 Review, covering Las Vegas and the world. We are here the last week of the NFL regular season, Week 18. We are here. There are playoff implications in these early games. Texans are playing the Colts. The Titans are playing the Jaguars. If the Jaguars win, they'll win the AFC South. Texans win and the Jaguars lose, they'll win the AFC South. Also, if the Falcons are able to beat the Saints today, the Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South. Even though the Buccaneers beat the Panthers yesterday 16-14, the Panthers can get into the playoffs. The Falcons beat the Saints today because of a three-way 8-9 tiebreaker. So that's what we're looking at in the early action today. The Giants and the Cowboys. Cowboys are trying to finish off their season on a positive note. Packers should be resting the majority of their players. They're in the playoffs, but I don't expect them to play many. The Vikings have won 4 games in a row. They are going to finish the season at 9-8. They cannot make the playoffs. Those are some of our early games today. We'll be here for it all. Thank you so much for all of you who have joined in this entire NFL season and participated in our chats and our discussions. We will have our playoff discussions, and we will be doing playoff games as well. Expect that we will be doing playoff games as well in the coming weeks here on C1 Review. So this is not the end of our NFL live reaction. We're going to take you all the way up to the biggest game of the year. We will be here for all of it, so expect that as well. If the Falcons, again, can finish the season with another victory, they'll be able to put the Panthers into the playoffs. So we'll see what happens today. Interesting game down in Atlanta with some implications. Saints are 6-10. They beat the Tennessee Titans last week. Both these teams are playing really well, but again, if the Panthers would have just been the Saints one time, they'd be in a much different predicament right now. But again, if the Falcons are able to win today, the Carolina Panthers will end up winning the NFC South. Titans have 3 wins on the year. Can they win 4? It would be a lot to expect today, I think. But Jaguars, again, can win their division with the victory today. So we'll see about that. But it would be nice, again, we watched a couple weeks ago the Thursday night football game between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Atlanta Falcons, and the Falcons won on a last-second field goal attempt. So, we're hoping, again, I want to see new teams in the playoffs. I hope the Falcons win today because they played well down the stretch, and also I'd like to see the Carolina Panthers in the playoffs. I want to see new teams in the playoffs. It's always more fun to see new teams in the playoffs, so we'll take a look and see what happens in that regard for sure. And we'll be here for the next 3.5 hours. Thank you so much again for participating and being here. Your support is greatly appreciated, and thank you so much again. Chris Yannick, C1 Review from Las Vegas, the most exciting city in the world. Bengals and Browns are also playing today. Bengals are trying to finish their season with 7 wins and 10 losses. The Bengals have played competitive every single week, even though they've been eliminated for the playoffs for many weeks already. Browns got a win last week against the Steelers. That upset fashion has sent the Sunday night football game between the Ravens and the Steelers. The winner will be in the playoffs and win the AFC North. Ravens have a chance to get there, so we shall see what happens this evening on that front as well. Vikings are moving the ball early. Justin Jefferson is in sight of trying to get 54 receiving yards. If he's able to get that 54 receiving yards, he'll be able to pass 1,000 receiving yards for the NFL season. So that's what's at stake there. Texans, again, trying to they're already in the playoffs, but they'd love to win this game. Somehow the Titans pull the biggest upset of the year, one of the biggest upsets of the year, and they'd be able to win the AFC South. So we'll see on that front. Texans are already in the red zone against the Colts. The Colts are going to end the season, I think, losing 7 or 8 consecutive games. Quite a sad state of events. But this is what happens when you lose your starting quarterback and all that stuff. But we were talking, as you know, many weeks ago about whether the Colts were going to be in the playoffs, right? We were talking about whether the Colts were going to be in the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, here's my response to you in this regard. Not going to be in the playoffs. And we predicted that a couple weeks ago, what would be one of the teams to drop off to let another AFC team in. Well, that's what it was. And the Texans replaced the Colts in the playoffs, and they're playing today. Texans, again, started the year 0-3 on the season. They're now, 11-5. Means they've won 11 of their last 13. Pretty incredible stuff. Again, that stuff does not happen on an ordinary basis. So congratulations to the Texans, who beat the Chargers last week, are in the playoffs and ready to go. Jaguars not looking great early here. Titans are going to get the football probably around the 50-yard line. We'll see how that goes. But Titans have been playing at least competitive offense. I'm not saying that their defense has been great, but they have been playing competitive offense the last couple of weeks. So we'll see what they're able to accomplish today as well. So again, we'll be back tonight again with the NFL playoff picture show. We'll absolutely be here for that. And we appreciate you logging in and your support today. And thank you so much for being here. Houston's going to be set up for a field goal attempt here. 51 yards. The kick is up, and it's good. Houston starts off today by scoring 3 points on their first attempt. Houston 3, Indianapolis nothing. Put that in the chat. Minnesota's going to start the day off with a field goal. 3-0. Double check that. Yep. Again, we've talked about it the entire year, but we'll continue to talk about it, how the Dolphins, the Cowboys, the Falcons, and Bengals are probably the most disappointing of all these teams, right? They're probably the most disappointing of all these teams. Probably the most disappointing. They could have been in the playoffs. This what could have been a situation. Falcons are at about the 43-yard line of the Saints. Again, this will be the game that I don't know how many of the Panthers are going to be watching this. Maybe some of these guys will not be watching this today, but if the Falcons are able to take care of business today, they're now inside the 20. They'll be able to send the Panthers to the playoffs. Titans are opening it up early, and they're inside the 20 of Jacksonville. And let's see if they're able to. They're going to get it. They're inside the 10-yard line. Tennessee is moving the ball early against Jacksonville here. Absolutely moving the ball early. As you know, the last week of the NFL season are divisional games. Happy Sunday to you too, Sunshine. Happy New Year. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. Titans are going to get a touchdown early. Touchdown, Tennessee Titans. I think Ward just got hurt on that play. Maybe they'll have to take a look at him on the sideline, but he does get a touchdown. 6-0 Tennessee early against Jacksonville. I don't think anybody was expecting that start in that game. Jacksonville loses and Houston wins. Houston would win the AFC South. Okay, Falcons are here around the 11 or 12 yard line. See if that's an interception, I believe. It was, unfortunately. I don't know what Kirk Cousins was doing there on that play, but the Saints will prevent the Falcons from getting points, at least for now. No score. Still, Atlanta Saints first quarter. That was disappointing. I don't understand that. That was just a really odd play. I'd be throwing downfield if I were in that situation, but not there. Again, early scores in the NFL: 3-0 Houston over Indy, 3-0 Minnesota over Green Bay. It's always nice to see with Week 18 that we're having some playoff scenarios. That these are not just all meaningless games. People are playing for jobs, obviously, in next season, of course. Some people are playing for stat lines and bonuses, all that kind of stuff. Dallas is at the Giants today. Dallas is currently 7-8-1 on the year. They have the opportunity to get to 8-8-1 to finish the season. Yep, they did tie with the Packers in the regular season. So we shall see if the Cowboys are able to finish the season at 500. Again, though, feels like a lot was left on the cutting room floor for the Dallas Cowboys this year. And their record could have been better, and they should be in the playoffs. Cincinnati's in the red zone inside the 5-yard line. Again, the Bengals, if Joe Burrow would have been healthy the whole year, no AFC team would have wanted to face the Bengals, that's for sure. Colts are going to get a touchdown here. A 3rd and 7 play, that's a touchdown. Maybe the Colts can end the year on a high note. Riley Leonard to Alex Pierce. Riley Leonard, of course, is the rookie. He's playing today. 6-3 Colts over the Texans. That's his first career touchdown pass for Riley Leonard there for the Indianapolis Colts. 6-3 now, pending extra point. Again, division games all across the board today, so expect some surprises potentially. Touchdown Bengals. Bengals are going to get on the board early here with a touchdown. That's going to be Chase Brown, the running back, from Joe Burrow, passing catch touchdown. You have Chase Brown today. If you're still playing fantasy football, you're happy with that one. 7-0 pending the extra point, obviously, here. Oceanic C1 interview covering Las Vegas and the world. Also on the main channel, go check out our interview with Tough Enough President Jeff Meyer, the long-running Combat Zone, combat sports, mixed martial arts promotion. Go check that out, please. Great conversation. They have their upcoming event at the Palms on January 22nd. It'll be their next MMA event. They are the future stars of MMA is how they build themselves. Go listen to that discussion. Really interesting Las Vegas sports-based segment. Also on the main channel, you can watch our C1 interview with Murray the Magician from our New Year's Eve show. That's now posted as a separate. Feel free to go check that out as well. Thank you so much, then, for all of your support. We're looking forward to big things this year in 2026. As we continue to move along here in the process. We're here for about 3 or 4 weeks of NFL, and then we'll be doing other stuff. But thank you so much for joining us. We so greatly appreciate it. It means the world. And thank you for being here today for C1 interview. It's greatly appreciated. Thank you, GW. The Dolphins will have a new quarterback next year. Hope you're feeling better. The Dolphins will have a new quarterback next year. Giants to get on the board. 3-0 Giants over the Cowboys to start the day. Put that in the chat. I don't believe that Tua will be back. I believe that, so I believe that, and I believe Miami will have a new quarterback next year. Interesting enough, if the Falcons beat the Saints today, The Carolina Panthers go to the playoffs, even though Tampa Bay won yesterday because of a three-way tie scenario. So the Panthers are rooting for the Falcons today, and you know I sure am as well, because we want to see new teams in the playoffs. So we'll see how Miami does today against New England to end the year. Miami's had some luck in past years against New England in the last week of the NFL season. Obviously, Miami winning would impact their draft pick status, which is not what Miami Dolphin fans want, especially you, but we'll see what happens on that front today. So, absolutely. Titans are up 7-0 on the Jaguars early. If the Jaguars lose and the Texans win, the Texans would win the AFC South today if they're able to beat the Colts. So that's basically what we're focusing on that front. All right, Jaguars are inside the 35 of Tennessee here. See if they're able to convert something. Lawrence is in the backfield. Jaguars have got to, the Jaguars, again, are one of the best teams in the AFC right now. No denying that. I think they can make it to the Super Bowl. They have beat Denver already at Denver. I think they can beat New England. Jacksonville's one of those top three in the AFC for sure, but got to win today. If you don't beat Tennessee today, that doesn't say much to end the year as you're ready to head to the playoffs. So obviously the first seed in the AFC is still up for grabs. Seattle has won the first round bye in the NFC. So going to be tough if Seattle, again, Seattle is just one of those teams. They have great defense, and if they have enough offense, they might be able to beat anybody. Even with Sam Darnold, who, again, it's the continued history of New York Jets quarterbacks going to other places after being with the Jets and then having playoff success. It's just incredible how that just works. I don't know what the Jets have to say about that. Sam Darnold and Geno Smith, their last two have gone to the playoffs. With Seattle, coincidentally, Rodgers could go to the playoffs if Pittsburgh wins tonight against Baltimore, but I think Baltimore will find a way to win on Sunday Night Football this evening. I don't expect that to happen. So all I can say on that front is that, if you're the Jets organization, you've just got to be wondering what is going on, that they don't work in our system, but they work in other people's systems. And I think people were ready to write off Sam Darnold like a long time ago. And look at how he's doing. Look at how he is doing. So there you go on that front. 7-0 Tennessee over Jacksonville early. Jacksonville is driving. Houston's got the ball. Looks like it could be a high-scoring affair between the Colts and the Texans today. 7-3 right now. Indy over Houston. Jacksonville is going to get that touchdown. They're going to be able to equal up Tennessee if they get an extra point here. Parker Washington with the catch for the Jacksonville Jaguars from Trevor Lawrence. 7-6 Tennessee over Jacksonville. We'll see if Jacksonville can make the extra point here. These things are never guaranteed, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see about that. In the new NFL today, you just never know about those kinds of things. Houston is moving the football down the field inside the 10-yard line there. 1st and goal coming up for Houston. There is a penalty flag on the field. Here's the extra point for Jacksonville. We're not going to show that. Let's see what the penalty flag is here in Houston and Indy. So even after that, Kirk Cousins. Good evening, good afternoon, Jimmy. Hope you're doing well. Everyone from across the world, thank you for joining in today. We appreciate it very much. It's going to be a penalty on Houston, so that one's coming back. It will not be first and goal, Houston. After that one, will not be first and goal. But even after that Kirk Cousins interception, looks like the Saints punted. Atlanta has the football again. For those wondering again, Falcons, if the Falcons win today, Carolina goes to the playoffs. That's why we're keeping an eye on that game. Who knows how many players from the Carolina Panthers are watching, but the reality is that if the Falcons are able to win today, three-way tie in the NFC South, and Carolina would go to the playoffs. Dallas is inside the 10-yard line here. The Dallas Cowboys looking to finish their season. I'm not sure when was the last time they lost the New York Giants, but it's been absolutely a while, of course. Cowboys are on their way to potentially another victory against the Giants today. We'll see. 3-0 Giants, but Cowboys are in the red zone here. We'll see if they're able to get a touchdown here. Scores around the NFL: 6-0 Cincinnati, 3-0 Minnesota, 3-0 Giants, 7-7 Titans, Jaguars, 7-3 Colts over the Texans. Texans are driving. Kirk Cousins not looking great early today. It looks like it might be a low-scoring affair today between the Saints and the Falcons. Looks like it might be a challenging one for sure. But again, if this goes down to the last seconds, which it very well could, because these are AFC South games, you never know. Remember something, the Panthers did beat the Falcons 30-0 at home earlier this year. So, you got to send a team who just blanked you to the playoffs if you end up winning. Field goal for the Texans makes it 7-6, Indy over Houston. Gonna put that there. And then tonight at 9 o'clock Las Vegas time, we'll be back with the playoff predictions and playoff prediction show. We'll absolutely be doing that as well, of course, as always. Also, here in Las Vegas, we're celebrating the new year. It's finally sunny today in the entertainment capital of the world. It's been rainy and cold the last couple of days. We're finally getting a nice sunny day in Las Vegas, so I'm really happy about that. I know a lot of us are. Before we know it, spring break and pool season will be here again already, literally in about like 2.5 months. Isn't that crazy? The warm weather will be here before you know it. March Madness will be here before you know it. The NCAA tournament. It's really crazy. We've got the college football playoffs still left, of course. Miami and Ole Miss. Going to be tough, GW, but you never know. Oregon and Indiana. Oregon over Indiana, I think, in a rematch. I think Oregon is much better than they were the first time they played Indiana. Oregon versus Miami or Ole Miss in the national title game. Who would have ever thought those numbers after Lane Kiffin left Ole Miss to go to LSU? Wouldn't it be amazing if Ole Miss ended up winning the national championship? So sometimes you just have to be lucky in the new college football playoff system. Some teams lose, some teams win, you get in. That's just what the system is today. So, but with the transfer portals, it just makes it so much more difficult, in my opinion. Every year is different, and it's going to be hard for teams to have dynasties anymore in college football because of how the new system is set up. So that's what we're looking at. Lane Fobbs and me will be back this week to talk about those two games, obviously, and a couple of other things for sure. Dallas is still inside the 5 against the Giants here. I think the Bengals are going to beat the Browns today. I think that's a pretty obvious scenario. Browns are just, Browns won 4 games this year. Shedeur played okay. Probably not a starting quarterback in the NFL. But, again, if the Bengals would have just had Joe Burrow a couple of extra weeks, I could have seen the Bengals playing in the Super Bowl this year. because I still think in certain regards, so there are a couple of top teams in the AFC. I feel like the conference is still pretty wide open in certain regards. So we'll see. I think all these teams are pretty equal. I don't think New England and Denver or Jacksonville are that far ahead of teams like Buffalo and Houston and Los Angeles. The Chargers are not playing their quarterback today. They don't care about the seeding, interesting enough. So Denver should just be able to win today against the Chargers without an issue whatsoever. Kind of surprised by that one, obviously. But the Chargers are not going to play Justin Herbert this week. They're going to wait for the playoff game next week. So that's what they've decided to do. So that's where we are. Dallas is going to attempt a tying field goal here against the Giants. The kick is up, and that is good. 3-3, Dallas and the Giants in the first quarter. We'll put that in the chat. I feel like the Saints and Falcons game, first to 17 points, wins today may be good enough, the way that this is going so far. Got 6 games going on right now. We'll be here till all of them are over. Later today, the Las Vegas Raiders will look to get their 3rd win of the NFL season, but that could mess up the draft pick potentials. They're playing the Chiefs here at home. Last game of the NFL season for the Las Vegas Raiders. Will they get a 3rd victory? Could also be Travis Kelce's last game, the Kansas City Chiefs tight end. So we'll see what happens. I know that the Chiefs want to get Kelce the ball at least a couple of times in this one. So we'll see if we see some of that last magic before the retirement happens here. Chiefs, Raiders again, afternoon game here in the entertainment capital. We'll also again, Chargers and Broncos are later today. Bills, Jets are later today. Dolphins, Patriots are later today as well. Rams and Cardinals are later today as well also. You know, Arizona can't wait to end the year. It's been a tough year for the Arizona Cardinals. Just been a very tough year for the Arizona Cardinals overall. We shall see what the draft scenarios are like today. I'm looking forward to seeing that, at least for the top picks. Obviously, we won't know to the playoffs or what the full order is, but we will know for the teams who do not make the playoffs. We'll be able to see where they land up after today, after the evening games. So it's going to be exciting to see that, to see the top 10, who's going to be drafting. I'm going to guess. It'll be interesting on that front. Falcons are in the red zone. Update here. Falcons looking to get a touchdown here to start this one here in the first quarter. It's going to be a running play to the right side, and they're going to get that one. Falcons are trying to end the year with a high note. Bijan Robinson with a touchdown. 6-0 Falcons over the Saints. Again, Falcons with penalty flag on the field on the Falcons. That one's coming back. First down will be repeated. Negate the touchdown, a holding penalty on the Atlanta Falcons there. That is not going to count. Colts attempted a fake punt, and they got it, if you can believe it. I mean, I guess when it's week 18 and you got nothing to lose, why not? What a play by the Colts on a fake punt, first down. That's incredible. You got the tight end on the field. He was able to just get over and get it. That is, a great throw by the punter for Indianapolis. The reason he got there was because he overthrew the defender on the ball there. Indianapolis first down. I don't know how many. We haven't seen many fake punts this year so far. Probably less than 5, I'd imagine. Can't remember seeing one the entire year, honestly. But first down, Indianapolis after that fake punt. Minnesota again up 3-0 on the Packers. Again, where we are right now, Minnesota again trying to end the season at 9-8. Packers are going to make the playoffs. I think they're stuck in the 7 seed irrespective. They can't do anything, so they're resting starters today, ready for their playoff, whoever the 2 seed is next week. Minnesota, though, again, will have a chance to stretch into 5 consecutive. There's a Joe Burrow interception, and that's going to be a pick 6 going the other direction potentially. No, it won't be. The Browns defender is going to make it to the end zone. There is a flag, though, so that could be a block in the back. We'll see. As long as the Falcons do not get a turnover here, they will be able to, at the very least. They will be at the very least able to get. They'll be able to get some points here on this drive. Panthers are rooting for everything and anything. That is for sure. Cousins in the backfield here. He's going to find his wide receiver wide open. That one will count. And it is Drake London with the catch for the Atlanta Falcons. 6-0 Falcons over the Saints now officially. Again, if the Falcons win, the Carolina Panthers win the NFC South and go to the playoffs. Go Carolina Panthers. Even though the Panthers lost yesterday 16-14 to the Buccaneers, they get in on a 3-way tie because Atlanta, Carolina, and Tampa Bay would all have the same record at 8-9, and Carolina wins all the tiebreakers. So, which, by the way, is how it should be anyway. Carolina beat Tampa Bay a couple weeks ago. Carolina's been playing better overall. Carolina beat the Rams this year. They beat the Cowboys. They beat the Dolphins. They have played much better football, I believe, overall this year than Tampa Bay, who has not played well at all, except winning 2 games of their last 7 or 8. So I'm just not enthused about having Tampa Bay in the playoffs. They barely put up 16 points yesterday. Again, division road games are tough. So, I'm Carolina, that's going to be a tough circumstance respected. But Carolina could have won yesterday with a couple of breaks. The whole point is that, no interest in seeing Tampa Bay in the playoffs again. Let's see Carolina in the playoffs, play one of those NFC West teams. It'd be fun. I'm looking at the standings here. Let me go check something out while we're sitting here. The New York Giants are in the red zone against the Cowboys. That's a touchdown. Missed. Chris Shannick, C1 interview covering Las Vegas and the world. We're live here, NFL Live, Week 18 playoff implications everywhere across the board. We're here talking about them. We'll be here for the whole early games today, and then we'll be back tonight with the 9 p.m. as always. NFL Live. I know that Tom will be here for that one. We'll be talking about everything. It'll be a fun hour for sure of discussion. So looking at the conferences here, just trying to see something here. Probably looking again at the way that it's looking. We're looking at, I'd imagine, potentially it's either going to be San Francisco or the Rams playing Carolina in the first round. So there's that. Again, I don't know the tiebreakers between the Rams and the 49ers. I'd have to look those up. Then you're looking at Bears probably, again, playing the Packers. It looks like, that's still on the line. The Eagles and the Commanders is still on the line, potentially, I believe. Bears should have that because they beat the Eagles in the tiebreaker, actually. So that should be locked in. Yeah, that's basically where we are. And so the other side of the coin, you got the Patriots and the Broncos with the same record, basically, again. And Broncos need that victory to get the 1 seed. I mean, the Jaguars, again, they win today, and the Broncos and the Patriots lose could make interesting scenarios in that regard. So we'll see what happens on that front. Again, the easiest one to figure out is the following. Steelers-Ravens, winner of that game is the 4 seed. They're going to play the Texans, most likely. That's it. Again, Chargers are going to rest their starters against the Broncos. So if both the Texans and the Chargers lose, the Bills can still move up potentially, possibly, but the Steelers or Ravens are going to play either the Texans, Chargers, or Bills. So that's basically where we are on that front as well. 7-7, Tennessee and Jacksonville in the first quarter. That's getting to the end, speaking of that. So that's where we are on that front. Yeah, the thing is that what it comes down to is that, again, had Pittsburgh beat Cleveland last week, they wouldn't be in this situation. Happy New Year, Dan M. They would not be in this situation. I think that, again, the question is that Rodgers started the season hot. It got cold. It got hot again. Will it end cold? I mean, the point is that I think it's a lot to ask to beat a team twice. Divisional teams know each other better. That coin flip game, absolutely decided by 4 points or less tonight on Sunday Night Football. That's for sure. Absolutely a coin flip game decided by, 4 points or less to me tonight on Sunday Night Football, either way. So I knew that the Ravens and the Steelers was going to be the Sunday Night Football game, though. It was just evident because they wanted that for national television because of the markets and Aaron Rodgers, of course. So you knew that NBC Sports was going to take that game. It was just obvious to me that they were going to take that game. So pokerchipper.com, ladies and gentlemen, go over there. We have a forum. Go over to pokerchipper.com. We'll put it in the chat. Check it out. Lots of fun stuff on poker, Las Vegas history, and beyond. Go to pokerchipper.com as always. 3rd and 4 for the Titans here. Last play of the first quarter. Cam Ward is going to throw a pass that's going to be the end of the first. 7-7 Jacksonville and Tennessee after the first. Titans are hanging around at least a little bit here. Titans are hanging around a little bit here. 7-7 after the first quarter. See what they can do the rest of the way. Falcons 7, Titans nothing again on that front. Saints nothing, excuse me. Third and 2 for the Saints upcoming here. 1 minute and 57 seconds left here in the first quarter. 10-6 Indy over Houston. Indy's playing well today so far. First down for the Saints. (6-3) Giants over the Cowboys. Dallas is going to return that inside the 20-yard line of the Giants, the kickoff return there. Cowboys are in the red zone here. Shannick Seawell interview, Las Vegas in the world. Las Vegas, the most exciting city in the world. NFL Week 18 reaction here. The weather's nicer today. We are literally a couple months away already from March Madness and spring break. Can you believe it? Pool season in Las Vegas, March Madness and beyond. We got 4 or 5 weeks left of NFL action. There's no better place to watch the biggest game of the world than here in the entertainment capital of the world. Touchdown Dallas. That will make it 9-6 Dallas over the Giants. Cowboys are not going to the playoffs this year. But again, the reality is that they'll be able to finish 8-1 on the year and 5-1 in the NFC East. Pretty crazy statistics, but the Cowboys would be able to finish 5-1 in the NFC East, but not make the playoffs if they were to win today. 7-0 Atlanta over the Saints after 1 quarter of play. Let's just take a look at some statistics here. Be back in a second here with you all. Let me see this. So definitively, and I say this definitively, if the Raiders lost today, they would absolutely get the first pick in the NFL draft, as they'd be the only 2-win team in the NFL. So Raiders Chiefs today, Legion Stadium, final game of the year. We'll see what the Raiders can do, if they can end the season on a high note. Browns are beating the Bengals right now 7-6. In the end of the first quarter, we're getting there. Let's take a look. Going back to some scores here. Second quarter is just about to begin there in Cincinnati. Again, Bengals. The Bengals are just one of these teams again where if they would have had Joe Burrow healthy for the entire year, they would have had Joe Burrow healthy for the entire year, so much would have been different, right? So much would have been different for the Bengals if Joe Burrow would have just been healthy the whole entire year. They would have been in the playoffs, and trust me, no team in the AFC wants to play the Bengals. They've been playing pretty well the last couple of weeks. Beat the Ravens a couple of weeks ago on the road, trounced the Dolphins. Bengals had played good enough. They walloped the Cardinals last week. Had the Bengals won a couple of more games against the Jets and the Bears, maybe they would have had some chance in the AFC North. But because of the injuries, they're on the outside looking in, obviously. So see if they can end the season at 7-10 today with a victory over the Browns, losing 7-6 right now, second quarter. Jaguars and Titans again. Jaguars need this victory to win the AFC South first off. Then there's possible other playoff implications as well. Reality is that scores around the NFL right now: 7-0 Atlanta over the Saints, 7-6 Cleveland over the Bengals, 10-6 again Colts over the Texans, 7-7 Jaguars and Titans, 3-0 Vikings over the Packers, 10-6 Cowboys over the Giants. Again, focusing on this, the Vikings can get 5 consecutive wins to end the year if they beat the Packers today. Checking out something here. Just give me a minute. Looking at some statistics here. Falcons are playing defense good enough. They will hold the Saints. The Saints are going to have to punt. 7-0 again. Falcons over the Saints in the second quarter. Check some statistics here while we're checking one more thing here. Saints are actually going to kick a field goal here, and that kick is no good. And Carolina Panthers fans are on that the New Orleans Saints missed a field goal there again. The Falcons win. The Carolina Panthers will win the NFC South and go to the playoffs. 7-0 still Falcons over the Saints. Back here in Houston, just checking something quickly here. J.J. McCarthy is starting for the Vikings today. And so let's go to the box score. Let's see. Where is Justin Jefferson? Justin Jefferson needs 37 more yards. I think 36 more yards, excuse me, to end up with 1,000 receiving yards for the season. So that's where Justin Jefferson is right now. You get a couple of 10, 12-yard passes, he'll get there. Just need a couple of curl flat passes and post passes. We'll see if Justin Jefferson's able to get to 1,000 reception yards on the year. 7-6 Cincinnati is losing to the Browns, and there's a defensive touchdown, a fumble return for a touchdown. Browns are now up on the Bengals 13-6. Not a great start today for the Cincinnati Bengals. Kind of surprising. 14-6 Browns over the Bengals right now. Houston's in the red zone against Indianapolis. Indianapolis has lost, I believe, 7 consecutive games. It's pretty sad. We were talking 2 months ago about Indy possibly being a Super Bowl contender, and they're not going to make the playoffs. Daniel Jones went down. The rest happened. Philip Rivers tried to come in and save the season. He played a great effort after being out of the NFL for 4-5 consecutive seasons. Hats off to Philip Rivers for coming back. He didn't have to do that. That was a fun 3 weeks, even though the Colts did not win any of those games. But either way, fun times were had by all between Indianapolis and Houston. Touchdown Jacksonville. That'll make it Jacksonville 13, Tennessee 7, pending the extra point here in that one. I hope some of you will be coming to Las Vegas in 2026. It's going to be a lot of fun things, as always, to do here in the entertainment capital of the world. So I hope we see you for the warm months. We love you. We need you in the entertainment capital of the world. We are the most exciting city in the world. So as always, thank you for watching this, whether you're watching recorded or live. Thank you so much for being here today. C1 Review NFL Live Reaction Week 18. We will have playoff games reactions next week. We'll do at least one of those, maybe 2 of those, depending on what the schedule looks like. But we are ready to go for the NFL next week, obviously, as well. And the divisional round and the conference round as well. We hope to be here for all 3 of those weeks, which we will be leading up to the biggest game of the year, obviously, in February. Atlanta's moving the ball again against the Saints here. Atlanta gets up 14-0. The Panther fans and the Carolina Panther players and coaches have got to be excited because they know if Atlanta wins today, Carolina's going to the playoffs. And I hope that's the case. I think Carolina overall has shown a much more impressive season than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who have not played very good football in at least 6 to 7 weeks. So I hope we see the Falcons win today, because the Panthers in the playoffs, to me, would be a much more exciting first-round game against either the 49ers or the Rams. Scoring update we'll put in the chat. Cleveland 14-6 after that defensive touchdown over the Bengals. I do like the Houston home uniforms, the black on the black helmets. I like those. Those are different. See if the Texans can get a touchdown here. Touchdown Houston. That will count. 12-10. Houston over Indianapolis. Jaden Higgins with the touchdown from C.J. Stroud. 12-10 now, Houston over Indianapolis, pending the extra point. Again, Houston still has potentially some playoff position hopes in the balance. If they win today, again, they can also win the AFC South if Jacksonville loses. So there's that as well. Atlanta's got a 3rd and 7 here, 10:28 to go in the second quarter over New Orleans. See if the extra point is good. Ooh, barely got it in there. 13-10. Houston over Indy now. We'll put that in the chat. Going to be ruled an incomplete pass on 3rd and 7 in the Atlanta-New Orleans game. They thought it was a fumble. Atlanta's going to kick a field goal. Try to go up 10-0 here with 10 minutes left in the half. He threw it forward. See what happens here on the field goal attempt. They might review that one. I think the Saints are going to challenge that. They're considering challenging that anyway. Was it a fumble by Kirk Cousins? I don't believe it was, but there's a commercial break in Atlanta. We'll get back to that in a minute. Giants are kicking a field goal. It's 10-9. Dallas over the Giants. Giants seem like they're ready to play after beating the Raiders last week, 34-10. Seems like a competitive New York Giants team is going to end the year there. We'll put that in the chat. Titans are continuing to play, even though they're down 14-7 to the Jaguars. They're driving the ball here. We'll see if the Titans can even this up against the Jacksonville Jaguars. A lot of competitive games today. Last week of the NFL season, it seems many teams are bringing their best here to end the year. Green Bay is resting their starters. It doesn't seem like we're going to get much from Green Bay today. They're down 3-0 in the second quarter, but it seems like that's going to be a low-scoring affair for sure. Scores around the NFL, 7-0 Atlanta over the Saints, 13-10 Houston over Indy, 3-0 still Minnesota over Green Bay, 14-6 Cleveland over the Bengals, 10-9 again Dallas over the Giants, 14-7 Jacksonville over the Titans, but the Tennessee Titans are at the Jacksonville Jaguars 37-yard line looking to get some points on the board. Taking a look at some statistics here in the Packers and Vikings game. Clayton Tune is the quarterback today for the Packers. Seems like there's been a lot of runs today. Again, Packers can't do anything. They're going to be the 7 seed regardless in the NFC. So there's no reason to have any players on the field today. Why would you bother doing that? Makes no sense whatsoever. That field goal attempt is going to be good by Atlanta. 10-0 now, Falcons over the Saints. Again, we always talk about how tough division games are. Division road games are tough for the Saints. They're losing 10-0. Again, we'll talk about it till the end of this broadcast, but if Atlanta wins today, the Carolina Panthers go to the playoffs. So big playoff implications there for sure. Christianic C1 interview covering Las Vegas and the world, from the most exciting city in the world, the Las Vegas Strip, the Fremont Street experience, and everything in between. We're here. Go over to the main channel, watch our interview with Las Vegas headliner magician Murray the Magician. We just had a great interview with Tough Enough president, MMA organization, Jeff Meyer, talking about their upcoming show at the Palms, the future stars of MMA. A lot of great stuff over on the main channel as well after you watch the live. So thank you so much for your support again, whether you're watching this in the live or the recorded version. We greatly appreciate you. We are here. Playoff implications abound. NFL Week 18. Thank you so much for being here. It's so greatly appreciated. Scores around the NFL: 14-7 Jacksonville over Tennessee, 10-0 Atlanta over New Orleans, 3-0 Minnesota over Green Bay. Again, 10-0 Atlanta over New Orleans. Atlanta wins. Panthers go to the playoffs. Houston's in the red zone again here, about to score. 13-10 beating the Colts. Let's see what happens here. CJ Stroud's going to rush for a touchdown. Going to make it 19-10. Houston over the Colts. CJ Stroud rushing touchdown there. If you're still playing fantasy football and you got CJ Stroud this week, you're really happy with that result. Let's look at the Justin Jefferson update. He's got another catch, I believe. Let's see where we are now. He got it, and now he's over 1,000 yards for the year. Justin Jefferson, 5 receptions today, 68 yards. Congratulations, Minnesota Vikings wide receiver Justin Jefferson passed 1,000 yards. And Cam Ward is intercepted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it looks like the Jacksonville Jaguars are on their way to winning the AFC South. Touchdown there, 20-7. I know it's early, but that's the kind of thing that you just can't do against a 12-win football team. Jacksonville finding a way to beat Tennessee today. If they keep this up, 21-7 right now. Jacksonville over Tennessee with that defensive interception return for a touchdown. Pending the extra point, it'll be 21-7. The extra point is up, and that's good. 21-7. Jacksonville over Tennessee. We'll be right back in 2 minutes, everybody. Do not go anywhere. We're going to take a quick break. Scoring updates 20-10, Houston over Indianapolis. We're going to update that right now in the chat. Indy's at approximately midfield here. Minnesota and Green Bay seems to be the snoozer of the day, literally. 3-0, 3 minutes and 13 seconds left. Minnesota's at the Green Bay 7-yard line. We'll see if they're able to get a touchdown here. J.J. McCarthy with 9 for 15 so far today with 121 passing yards. Saints are in the red zone against the Falcons. Again, the Falcons win today. Carolina goes to the playoffs. Saints win today. Tampa Bay goes to the playoffs. That's basically what we're looking at right now. Falcons played some good defense there on that second down. Third down is coming up for the New Orleans Saints. Field goal attempt for the Vikings, 6-0 Minnesota over Green Bay. We'll put that in the chat. Third and 16 for the Saints, but there is a penalty flag on the field on the Falcons. Kind of a dumb call there. It didn't look like it was a catchable ball, honestly, to tell you the truth. It's going to be a first down for the Saints against the Falcons. Saints have a chance to get a touchdown here on the board. 6 minutes left until halftime in Atlanta. 10-0 Atlanta right now. Carolina, Tampa Bay, both watching this game, hoping that the team that they need in their division rivals wins today. Tampa Bay needs New Orleans. Carolina needs Atlanta. Advantage Carolina Panthers right now. Second and goal upcoming for the Saints here against the Falcons. Second and goal here. Looks like it's going to be third and goal for the Saints here. Jacksonville's just pouring it on right now against the Saints. Probably going to be at least 24 or 28-7 here. They're at midfield. 5 minutes and 44 seconds to the half. Jacksonville 21, Tennessee 7. Third and goal here. Let's see what the Falcons can do here for the Saints. Probably Saints are going to go for it, I imagine, if they don't get it here on third and goal. Saints are going to get in with a rushing touchdown. So Tyler Shaw with the touchdown, 10-6. Now Atlanta over the Saints, pending the extra point coming. Saints get on the board today. The only team who has not scored any points in this early set is the Green Bay Packers, who again are resting all of their players for next week playoff game. They don't have anything to play for today. 6-0 Minnesota there, as we've talked about. Justin Jefferson has gone over 1,000 now reception yards for the NFL season. Kick is up and good. 10-7 Falcons over the Saints. We'll put some updates in the chat here. So just to let you know, starting on Tuesday, the first big convention of the year in Las Vegas takes place, the Consumer Electronics Show, Technology Abound, January 6th through the 9th at the Las Vegas Convention Center. All the new stuff in technology. Phenomenal stuff. I went one year, went to a party. Interesting convention. So again, Consumer Electronics Show, January 6th to the 9th. The convention season already beginning here. The new convention season for 2026 here in Las Vegas should be an exciting one for sure. Jacksonville inside the 15-yard line here. Jacksonville continuing to move the ball here against Tennessee. 2nd and 6. 2 minutes about till halftime there. At the half, we'll talk college football playoff predictions again. Most of these games get to halftime, and we'll go over playoff scenarios one more time for all of you. Browns are still beating the Bengals 14-6, but the Bengals have a chance to get some points on the board before the half. 2 minutes left there until the halftime. That's where we are on that one. Atlanta's trying to move the ball here and get a couple of points before the half. Kirk Cousins leading this Falcons team in Week 18. A lot of Falcons fans have been talking about where was Cousins' performance the whole season so far, and he's come on strong at the end here. They're not going to make the playoffs, but they've got a chance to spoil the Tampa Bay Buccaneers season with a win. Let's see. Atlanta will have to punt to the Saints. Got about 10 yards on that third down, but not enough to get 18. 3 minutes and 20 seconds left in the half between Atlanta and New Orleans. Saints are going to be inside their own 20-yard line to start that drive. 2 minutes and 48 seconds left until the half. Third and 1 for the Bengals here. Joe Burrow and company. I think they got the first down, it looks like. They did. 1st and 10. They made the playoffs, as you know. Beat the Chargers a couple years ago, but Jaguars look good. They look like they're ready again to potentially go to the Super Bowl. That's a touchdown. 27-7 Jacksonville now over Tennessee, pending the extra point. 2 minutes left to the half. Jaguars are on their way to win the AFC South. I think we can confidently say that now. So let's check something on the stats front, sir. Just give me a minute. That kick is barely going to make it in there, but it will. 28-7 Jacksonville over Tennessee. Indianapolis is at midfield before the half, down 20-10, still looking to get some points on the board. We shall see. Let me take a look at something. So for the playoff, just for next week, there'll be 2 games on Saturday, and then 3 on Sunday, and 1 on Monday. There will be 6 games next week for the playoffs. So just remember that next week. 6 playoff games. The Seattle Seahawks will be on a bye, and we're not sure about what team will be on the AFC will be on a bye, but there are 6 playoff games next week. We'll be doing at least one of those, if not 2. We'll see how the schedule again breaks down, but we'll see about that. Probably at least one. One at least, but maybe 2. All depends on the schedule, but exciting times next week in the NFL, that's for sure. Bengals are inside the 15-yard line here. They're going to get a touchdown. Playoff, penalty flag as well. Probably on the Browns defense, I imagine. It's T. Higgins who caught the ball here. Let's see what the penalty flag is. It is pass interference in the end zone. That penalty will be declined. T. Higgins with the touchdown for the Bengals makes it 14-12. Browns over the Bengals. Let's see now if they choose to kick the extra point or go for 2 here. 3rd and 6 for the Saints. 3rd and 4 for the Saints, excuse me. 2 minutes left in the half. Giants are down 10-9 to the Cowboys, but they're about to get a touchdown, and they do. 20 seconds left in the half. New York Giants. Don't say that much this year. Daniel Bellinger with the touchdown. 15-10 lead over the Cowboys. 20 seconds left in the half. Giants looking to get a win, 2 wins to end the NFL season. Cowboys want to get to 8-1 to end the year. Nice shovel pass by Dart to get it over there, and he's going to get in the end zone for the touchdown. Minnesota looking to extend their lead against Green Bay before the half here. And it looks like they're going to touchdown Minnesota Vikings. The Green Bay Packers, again, have nothing to play for today. They are locked into the 7th seed in the NFC. They're resting starters. Minnesota is expected to win this game today. C.J. Ham, the fullback. Do you ever hear me talk about fullbacks in the NFL ever again? C.J. Ham, the fullback, with a touchdown for the Vikings. Minnesota looking to get 5 consecutive wins to end the year on that front. 12-0. 12-0 now, Minnesota over Green Bay, pending the extra point coming up right now. Kick is up. It's good. Minnesota would finish 9-8. They can't make the playoffs. Minnesota, Dallas, Cincinnati, and Miami, and Atlanta, to me, are the teams that will be thinking at the end of the year what could have been if a couple of other things went the other direction. That's for sure. C.J. Ham is retiring, and so he'll get a touchdown on the way out today. Nice way to end an NFL career. Again, fullback's not a common thing in the NFL. It's always nice to see something like that to end an NFL career, being able to get a touchdown in your last game. Still a full second half to go, too. 13-0 right now, Green Bay over Minnesota. Minnesota over Green Bay. I'll put that in the chat. Indianapolis inside the 5-yard line here, looking to get a score before the half. I could also put Indianapolis on the list because of the Daniel Jones injury, as far as what could have been, for sure. That's also another possibility. I agree with that also. Minute 30 left in Atlanta and New Orleans. It's 10-7 Atlanta over New Orleans right now. Greg Little gets a field goal before the half. It's 31-7. Another long field goal attempt from Greg Little. He probably is the best kicker in the NFL. So we'll put that in the chat. If you have any thoughts today on any of the games, want us to tell us what you're doing this weekend, feel free to also drop those in the chat. We appreciate that. Again, Consumer Electronics Show, January 6th through 9th in Las Vegas, the first big convention of the year in Las Vegas. Everything in technology. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Alec Pierce with the touchdown. 20-16 now. Colts over the Texans. Still got about a minute and a half before the halftime there. That seems like that's a competitive game. But again, if Jacksonville's able to take care of business the rest of the way, they're going to get there anyway. They're absolutely going to get there anyway. So winning the AFC South doesn't look like they're going to lose to Tennessee. Falcons have 41 seconds left in the half here. See if the Falcons try to move the ball a little bit here at the end. See if they get some scores. They got 33 seconds and they got 2 timeouts. Again, if the Falcons win, the Carolina Panthers go to the playoffs via winning the NFC South. That is what we're looking at right now in that playoff scenario right there. First down, Atlanta. Got to use one of your 2 timeouts, obviously. $29 seconds left in the half in Atlanta. See what Cousins is able to do. He's going to move up in the pocket. He's going to get tackled here. Atlanta will use their final timeout, it looks like. Atlanta is trying to get something on the board here before the half. Let's see how long. I'll check something out here. Got the box score here, 1 minute, in the Jacksonville Jaguars and Indianapolis Colts game. That was a 67-yard field goal from Cam Little. Unbelievable. Just unbelievable how much. He's going to kick a 70-yard field goal one day. That is going to happen. Maybe it'll happen in Denver where there's elevation, but he will kick a field goal one day. And it's going to be from 70 yards. He's a great kicker. 67 yards down the pike there to end that one. Makes it 31-7 Jacksonville. Jacksonville on their way to winning the AFC South. Looked a little shaky at the beginning, but nope. everything is moving along now for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Again, I put the Jacksonville Jaguars up there as one of those teams that could potentially, end up in the Super Bowl. That's for sure. No denying that. We'll be right back. Hang on a moment. Okay, we found that. Just a little technical difficulty there, but we're good now. All right, let's see what Atlanta can do. Cousins is going to step up in the pocket. I think he made the catch there. Nope, he did not. So we got one last play for Atlanta here, third down. See what the Falcons are willing to do here on this last play. Going to need to be a little bit creative here. They're going to need to be a little bit creative here. Last play in the half here for Atlanta and New Orleans. Nothing to do, just a tackle. We're at the halftime in Atlanta. Atlanta 10, New Orleans 7. Again, if Atlanta's able to win, the Carolina Panthers go to the playoffs. If New Orleans wins, Tampa Bay goes to the playoffs. That's where we are, halftime in Atlanta. Both teams from the NFC South who played yesterday will be keeping an eye on this one. One half left. Atlanta 10, New Orleans 7. Houston's got 30 seconds left in the half here. Let's see if Houston can get something before the half is over. Houston beating Indianapolis right now, 20-17. To me, Houston could be a team that could absolutely compete with New England, Denver, or Jacksonville in the playoffs, obviously. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I think Houston from the wild card section and Buffalo. Again, I think all the teams in the AFC are absolutely good. The wild card will be the AFC North team. I think Baltimore is capable. I don't know how capable they are. But again, I think a lot of teams would rather be playing. I think the Chargers, the Bills, or the Texans would rather play Pittsburgh than play Baltimore in the first round if they were to draft them. So again, we'll see what happens tonight on Sunday Night Football. I think the Ravens are going to have a better chance because it is hard again to beat a team twice in the year, but we'll see if Aaron Rodgers has got any magic left. If Rodgers wins, they make the playoffs, which would be a great accomplishment for him to end his NFL career, at least making the playoffs. If he's not coming back next year, potentially he could be still. But that's basically where we are. Houston's inside the 20 here. Third and 10 coming up. Houston is going to be able to kick a field goal here before the half ends against Indy. No touchdown attempt, but they will be able to get a field goal here at least. 23-17, Houston over Indianapolis, halftime. So we're getting there. We're getting through these. Let's see where we are right now. Scores around the NFL. Everything is at halftime. Atlanta 10, New Orleans 7. Indianapolis down to Houston 23-17. Minnesota's on its way to beating Green Bay 13-0. Cleveland 14, Cincinnati 12, 31-7. Jacksonville over Tennessee. And maybe one of the surprises of the day, the New York Giants 16 over the Cowboys. Dallas had mentioned how they really wanted to win this game to end the NFL season. So surprising effort so far by the New York Giants at the half. New York Giants 16, Dallas 10. All right, college football playoff time. Since we're at the half, again, what we're looking at is that the main implications in these 6 games is if Jacksonville's able to hold on to that 31-7 lead against Tennessee, they'll be able to win the AFC South. And then they have to wait for the playoff seeding considerations. If Atlanta beats New Orleans today, Carolina wins the NFC South. If New Orleans beats Atlanta today, Tampa Bay wins the NFC South. So that's what we're looking at. That's what we're looking at right now. Okay, college football playoff predictions. Ole Miss, Miami. Ole Miss has played like a team on a mission after beating Georgia. Did not expect them to beat Georgia. I don't know if Miami can come up with 3 straight victories. I think that's going to be tough. Give me Ole Miss. Be a close one, but give me Ole Miss. Number 2, my other thoughts. Oregon and Indiana. Oregon just shut out Indiana. Shut out Texas Tech. Indiana played very good against Alabama. Have to give them all the credit in the world. Oregon, I just feel like, is ready to win that rematch. So give me Oregon over Indiana for sure today. Oregon versus Ole Miss for the national championship game. No one had that on their bingo card. That's what I think. We'll see. Late NFL games today: Jets, Bills, Lions, Bears, Chargers, Broncos, Cardinals, Rams. The hometown Las Vegas Raiders will be hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. The New England Patriots are playing the Miami Dolphins. And the Philadelphia Eagles are playing the Washington Commanders. Those are the rest of your NFL games. And then tonight, Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Winner wins the AFC North. That is where we are right now. And then tonight, 9 p.m., we'll be back for our NFL review, playoff picture, playoff predictions for next week. Should be a fun one. Of course, we'll be doing at least 1 playoff game next week, maybe 2. We look forward to seeing you again. And thank you again for those of you here live from Las Vegas, the most exciting city in the world, whether you're watching in the live or you're watching in the replay. Thank you so much for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. Again, the Las Vegas convention calendar begins this week, January 6th to the 9th. The Consumer Electronics Show at the Las Vegas Convention Center. It's already here. It's already here. Convention season is starting. It's already here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take a pause for a moment, and we'll be right back on the C1 Interview Las Vegas halftime report. Tennessee and Jacksonville have begun the second half. Playoff scenarios, again, Jacksonville wins. They win the AFC South. Looking good, 31-7. Tennessee has the football here, but they're in 11. Not looking great for the Titans, and that's going to be a punt. Jacksonville, if I'm Jacksonville, I just start running the football. There's no reason to keep pouring it on. I just keep running the football. Browns are at midfield against the Bengals. Browns 14, Bengals 12, third quarter. Both these teams are finishing up their season. Cincinnati would love to end the season. I know it's 7-10. They've been playing well the last couple, 5 to 6 weeks. Trounced Miami and Arizona the last couple of weeks. Cincinnati would love to end I know they would love to end their NFL season on a high note. Baltimore, I mean, Cleveland has the ball at midfield right now, though. Just looking at some statistics here. Cleveland's in the red zone against the Bengals here. 5-yard line. 9 minutes left there in the third quarter. See what Dallas can do against the Giants to start the half. Giants are playing well. 3-13 New York Giants. If the Giants lose today, win today, they're hurting their NFL playoff spots, obviously, but playing to the end. Bengals playing good defense here. It's going to be 4th and goal. Browns are probably going to kick a field goal here, I imagine. I don't see them going for it here. That's going to be good. 17-12. Browns over the Bengals. We'll put that in the chat. Minnesota still leading Green Bay 13-0. 9 minutes left there in the third. Again, the Packers have nothing to play for in this Week 18 game. They're resting starters. They're waiting for their NFL wildcard game next week. They're going to get second stringers on the field there, guys who haven't had any playing time this year, very little playing time. Vikings are looking to get their fifth consecutive win to end the NFL season. They would finish the season at 9-8. That's the goal there. Falcons and Saints have finally started their second half. This is the one we've been waiting for right here. Falcons win, and the Carolina Panthers would go to the playoffs. If the New Orleans Saints win, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers go to the playoffs. That's the importance of that game today. Saints are starting off in the second half with the football. Midfield for the New Orleans Saints here, first down against Atlanta. Not in field goal range yet, but they're on the cusp of it. The Giants are about to get another score here. Touchdown, New York Giants. Where was this all season? Touchdown for the New York Giants. Tyrone Tracy Jr. with the touchdown for the New York Giants. 22-10 now. Giants over the Cowboys. Flag on the play, probably unnecessary conduct, unsportsmanlike conduct, probably, I imagine. But Cowboys and Giants are getting into it right now on the field. Nice sack by the Atlanta Falcons there. They're going to have, but there's a penalty flag. That could be a face mask, unfortunately. Let's see what the call on the field is. It looked like a face mask from far away. He's grabbing the jersey. I don't think they're going to call anything there. See what the review is. this one open over here just so we have the statistics and the information. And the Falcons play defense. They sack the Saints twice in a row on 2 plays. And the Saints are going to have to punt the football. They're going to have to punt the football. There were 2 penalties on Dallas after the Giants' touchdown. Obviously, those are going to be assessed on the kickoff or the extra point. We'll see how they assess it here. But Cowboys not playing as well as I think they hoped today. Colts are in the red zone looking to take the lead against the Texans. And they will at least tie at 23-23, pending the extra point, which is never guaranteed. Riley Leonard is having a great day to end his season. He gets a rushing touchdown and a passing touchdown. The rookie is getting some playing time and playing very well for the Indianapolis Colts right now. And they're tied. They keep showing Riley Leonard's family in the stands, and they all seem pretty excited for him. See if they get the extra point here. The extra point is good. So it's Indianapolis 24, Houston 23. Put that in the chat. Christian XT1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. Week 18 NFL live reaction. Thank you so much, whether you're watching this in the live or the recorded. We've had a busy room today. We'll be here tonight again, 9 p.m. to break down the whole NFL playoff picture and review what happened today before we get to the NFL playoffs next week. Obviously, we'll be doing NFL review shows the next 3 to 4 weeks. 3 weeks and a big game. And we'll obviously be doing some lives on some of the games. So look forward to those for sure. Bengals moving the ball a little bit against the Browns. It's currently Cleveland 17, Cincinnati 12, as you can see in the chat. Four minutes left there in the third quarter. (24-10) Giants over the Cowboys. They do get the 2-point conversion there. So let's update that. New York Giants 24, Dallas 10. Atlanta with a nice catch from Kirk Cousins. They're inside the 30 of New Orleans. See what the Atlanta Falcons can do here. Can they get a touchdown and extend that lead? Incomplete pass by the Falcons. We'll see if the Falcons attempt a long field goal attempt here. 8:55 left here in the third quarter. Debating it 4th and 9. I feel like you could go for it, but we'll see what they end up doing here. Long field goal attempt or punt. They are going to kick the field goal. It's going to be 51 yards for Atlanta. Zane Gonzalez is out there for the Atlanta Falcons. Let's see if he's able to kick it here in the dome. Kick is up. It looks like that one's going to get there, 13-7. And there's a penalty flag on the field. Let's see what the penalty flag is. If New Orleans is offside, they can decline or accept potentially. They want to go for it on 4th and 4 compared to 4th and 9. See what it is. Offsides on New Orleans. Atlanta is going to decline the penalty, so it's going to be 13-7 Atlanta over the Saints. Probably a smart move. You're probably not going for it on 4th and 4, so that makes a lot of sense. Atlanta 13, New Orleans 7 in the third. Again, if Atlanta wins, Carolina goes to the playoffs. Tampa Bay would go to the playoffs. That's where we are right now. 13-7 now. Atlanta, though, over New Orleans. Looks like it's going to be coming down to the wire there in Atlanta in a close NFC South matchup. 24-23 still. Indianapolis over Houston. That might be the surprise of the day. Besides, the Giants are really taking it to the Dallas Cowboys today. Giants 24, Dallas 10 right now. I don't think anybody expected that score today. Dallas looked pretty good the last couple of weeks. I don't think they expected to lose to the Giants today. They could still win, obviously, but got to find a touchdown here to make this one closer for sure. See what Atlanta and New Orleans do here. New Orleans has got the ball 13-7. They're about the 35-yard line. We'll see what they're able to do here. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. Thank you, Jam to Bread. Appreciate seeing you too. Happy New Year. We are moving along here in the process. We got about an hour and a half left of our NFL Live here. 6 games going on right now. Playoff implications abound. Here in Las Vegas, the most exciting city in the world. New Orleans, again, biggest scenario right now, has the ball against the Falcons in the third quarter. Atlanta holding on to that lead. Carolina happy about that. We'll see if they're able to hold on, but I expect this one will go down the wire and could even go down to a last-second field goal attempt. New Orleans is at about the approximate 34-yard line. The longest standing one is the Houston and Indy game. Seems like that one's going to be going on forever. 24-23 Indy over Houston. There's still 11 minutes left there in the third quarter, if you can believe it. That's what we're looking at right now. Cincinnati and Cleveland are going to the fourth quarter. 17-12 Cleveland over Cincinnati. Fourth quarter, Minnesota, Green Bay 13-0. If I'm Minnesota, I just keep running the football. Green Bay has no motivation to score points, to win today, to do anything. They're locked into the playoffs. They can't do anything. So Green Bay, again, if I'm Minnesota, I just run the football and get to the end of the game. There's no reason to do anything crazy here and possibly give the Packers a defensive touchdown or anything like that. Third and 10 coming up with the Saints here. They're across midfield. Shannick C1 review, Las Vegas, Week 18, NFL playoff implications. The Consumer Electronics Show is this week in Las Vegas, January 6th to the 9th. If you're in town, I'm sure you're going to go experience that. Welcome to all of our convention goers. The first major convention of the year in Las Vegas is happening this week, January 6th to the 9th. Again, can you believe in 2.5 months will be pool season, warm months abound in Las Vegas. Spring break, March Madness, all that good stuff. We're right around the corner. It's amazing. And then WrestleMania will be here. WrestleMania 42, second year in a row in Las Vegas. Looking forward to it. Jacksonville is getting to the end of the third quarter. No points scored in that quarter by either team. It's still 31-7, Jacksonville over Tennessee. 4th and 4 for the Saints here. They are going to go for it. I guess it's too long for a field goal attempt and too short for a punt. Maybe they'll just try to draw them off sides, and if not, they are going to go for it. And that's going to be a catch. First down, Saints. They'll move the football there. Threw it over Atlanta Falcons defender. He did get both feet in. That is going to be a first down for the Saints. 6 minutes left here in the third quarter. Jacksonville Jaguars kicker is going to kick another one right down the road. That's only about 52 yards that time. 34-7 Jacksonville over Tennessee. Let's put that in the chat. Orange the Sea Water Review. Cat is wandering around right now. The Cat teams are doing well today so far. The Panthers will be in the playoffs if the Falcons hold on. 3rd and 4 for the Saints at the 24-yard line of Atlanta, and they're not going to get the first down. So it'll be interesting to see if the Saints settle for a field goal here or if they go for it again. 4 minutes left there in the third quarter. Texans and Saints game seems like it's, and the Colts game seems like it's going to be going on for 10 years. 10 minutes still left in the third quarter that are 24-23. Indianapolis over Houston. We'll be here till the end of all of them, as we promise you. We will be. Christianic C1 Review covering Las Vegas in the world, the most exciting city in the world. Happy New Year to you all. 4th and 3, Saints are going for it again. And they're going to get it again. It'll be 1st and goal now. Falcons had a chance to stop the Saints 2 times on 4th down and have not been able to. Now it's going to be 1st and goal for the Saints. Obviously, Saints don't have a lot of confidence in their offense by just kicking 3 here. It is the third quarter. If I were them, I'd just probably be kicking the field goal and going and taking the points. But to each their own. We'll see if they go 4 times this time around. Incomplete pass on 1st and goal. 2nd and goal for the Saints coming up. 3:32 left in the third quarter. Atlanta is currently winning 13-7. Nine minutes now left in Houston and Indy in the third. Third and goal for Tampa Bay. They're not going to get it. See if they end up going for it here on 4th and goal. Touchdown, New Orleans Saints on 4th and goal, but there is a penalty flag. So let's see what the penalty flag is. Penalty flag is an offensive pass interference on New Orleans. And I think that New Orleans, because of this penalty, will now have to kick the field goal, potentially. We shall see. Yeah, he knocked the defender there out of bounds and then knocked another one. So I can see why they could consider that an offensive pass interference call. So that makes sense. Tough break, but if I'm the Saints, you're probably kicking the field goal now. Let's see what they do here. They're gonna go. Yep, they're gonna go for it again. incomplete pass on 3rd and 7. Yep, the Saints are going to be held to a field goal. So the Falcons catch a break with that penalty. They do get off the field. They'll still have the lead at least. The kick is up and good. 13-10 now, Atlanta over the Saints. The Falcons will hold on to the lead at least for a couple more minutes. Field goal by the Texans gives them the lead back, 26-24. We'll put that in the chat as well. Still 6 minutes left there in the third. Minnesota cleaning house on Green Bay, looking to get some points here. And, of course, there's a defensive turnover, looks like. And that's what I talked about by being kind of cute. When you're winning a game, you should just run the football and take the points, and you're already winning by 2 scores, and Green Bay doesn't care. My opinion. No points on the board today. Resting starters. This is like a preseason game for them, so. Okay, those are your scoring updates in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Atlanta holding on, Carolina hoping and praying they can get to the playoffs. Baker Mayfield watching at home, hoping that the Saints find a way to get it done. This is where we are right now. You know, you have an AFC South game. Both these teams are not going to make the playoffs, Atlanta and New Orleans, but the winner of this game will decide who ends up going to the playoffs. So big situation had by all. Tampa Bay, if they would have found a way to win a couple of games, or Carolina, wouldn't be in this situation. But right now, 13-10 Atlanta over the Saints in the third quarter with 2 minutes to go. Right there. That's what you're looking at as a scenario. So if that holds, Carolina would be the NFC South representative and head to the playoffs and be playing either the Rams or the 49ers in the first round. At 8-9. Cincinnati is down 17-12 with 9 minutes and 41 seconds left. Bengals have the football, first down. See if the Bengals can move the ball down the field. Cleveland playing a little bit decent to end the year. I have to give them credit for that. They haven't folded. Both these teams looking to finish their season with a victory. Going to the fourth quarter, Dallas is driving, but they're still down 24-10. Dallas will get on the board, or they'll be at the 1-yard line. I think they're at the 1-yard line to end the third quarter. 24-10, Giants over the Cowboys. Might be the surprise of the day again so far. Might be the surprise of the day. The Giants beating the Cowboys 24-10. Dallas is close to the touchdown area, though. That's where we are on that. 8 minutes and 17 seconds left here in the fourth. Bengals have another first down. They're trailing Cleveland 17-12, trying to end the season with 7 wins and 10 losses. Thought the Bengals would play a little bit better today. They dominated both the Cardinals and the Dolphins. And I expected that they would play better today. They probably might still find a way to win, but we'll see. Falcons moving the ball inside the 40-yard line of the Saints. That's going to go to the fourth quarter. It looks like 13-10 Atlanta holding on against New Orleans. The most important fourth quarter of the Carolina Panthers and Tampa Bay Buccaneers season is about to come, and they're not even playing that game because whoever wins this fourth quarter will be the one deciding who blows the playoffs. Atlanta may run one more play, it looks like here. Looks like they're going to have to run one more play. It's a good handoff to the running back here, but it's going to be in the backfield. Atlanta will start the fourth quarter at the Atlanta 43-yard line, 2nd and 13 about. 15 minutes left to decide the NFC South. Atlanta 13, New Orleans 10. Indianapolis and Houston like a video. Taking as much time as they want, not moving the ball quickly here at all. Indy moving the ball, first down inside the 20. 1st and 10 for the Colts. Colts, again, be unbelievable if the Colts were able to finish the season with a victory after losing like 6 or 7 in a row, whatever it is. Be a pretty incredible finish for the Colts, who, again, 6 weeks ago we were talking about potentially being a Super Bowl contender, and they're not even going to make the playoffs. It's amazing how things quickly change. Again, Houston started the season 0-3, and they're now 11-5. So, again, anything can change so quickly in this league in the NFL for sure. Touchdown Dallas to start the fourth quarter. And with 5 minutes remaining, we have a new regular season NFL sack leader. So they're going to probably stop the game here for a moment to honor this moment. Joe Burrow gets sacked, and Myles Garrett now has the most sacks in an NFL season ever. So congrats to him. They finally got him out there and got it done. He didn't get it last week against Aaron Rodgers, but he'll get it here. Myles Garrett, the most sacks in NFL history. I think it's now 24 23 in a single season. He surpasses both Michael Strahan and TJ Watt. Congratulations to Myles Garrett. That is an unbelievable accomplishment, even on a 4-win team. Bengals moving the ball here at their own. So like at midfield, they're going to have about 3rd and probably 11 here. Showing Myles Garrett's parents in the stands. Very happy for him. Shows you that every game matters. Every given Sunday matters. One of the greatest players in defensive history. Does that get you in the Hall of Fame? Probably. Pretty amazing accomplishment. Bengals aren't able to do anything. 4th and 15, 3 minutes and 50 seconds left, but they do have all 3 timeouts, and they have the 2-minute warning. So you can punt here and still get the ball back, and Cincinnati will be okay. Atlanta's now back on the field, 3rd and 10. They're going to get a 1st down. They're going to have a chance to at least get 3 points here, I think. I mean, they're looking for a touchdown, obviously, but Atlanta moving the ball here. They're at, let's just take a look at the New Orleans 23-yard line. There are 13 minutes and 37 seconds left still in that one. First and 10 for the Falcons. They're inside the 20 here. Ooh, that could have been intercepted, and it was caught. That went right over the New Orleans Saints defender's head there. Could have been. Tip catch with 2 feet in bounds. Guess they didn't count that reception. I thought that Pitts Sr. had caught that one, but okay. They're not going to give it to him, so 2nd and 10 for the Falcons here. And Kirk Cousins is going to take a sack there. Got 3rd down coming up. 4th and 11 coming up here. Indy gets the field goal attempt, so Indy's going to take the lead back on Houston. Still a minute 42 left in the third quarter there. That game is just going on forever. We'll update the chat. Indy 27, Houston 26. A lot of people will say, where was this from Indy the last couple of weeks? Atlanta will have to attempt a field goal with 10 minutes and 47 seconds left here. Kick is up, and it's good. 16-10 Atlanta over New Orleans. So the Saints and the Falcons trade field goals. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're live from the most exciting city in the world. NFL Live Week 18 playoff implications happening all across the NFL today. Later today, the Raiders will try to get their third win of the NFL season to end on a positive note. They're hosting the Kansas City Chiefs here at Allegiant Stadium. Should be a fun one. Travis Kelce's last game, probably Taylor Swift's fiance. Looks like that's on the way. This could be Kelce's last game today, so we'll see. Chiefs looking to finish the year with a win. Raiders looking to finish the year with a win. We will see who wants it more. If the Raiders lose, they would get the first pick in the NFL draft. 1 minute and 42 seconds left here between the Colts and the Texans in the third quarter. I'll update the scoring box. One we haven't talked about at all recently. The Jaguars are up 40-7 on the Titans. They're on their way to winning the AFC South. Congrats to the Jaguars. Jaguars look like they're ready to go to the Super Bowl again. They look like a Super Bowl team. They beat the Broncos a couple weeks ago. I think they could beat New England. There you go. One minute left in the third quarter. Indianapolis beating Houston 27-16. Vikings are kicking a field goal here. Kick is good. 16-0 Vikings over the Packers right now. I'm going to check something. Carolina shut out Atlanta 30-0 in the third week of the year. So they would not be, if the Packers don't get any points here in the last 4 minutes, they would not be the only team not to score this year in the NFL. So Bengals got the ball back at their own 39, 2 minutes and 41 seconds left there. 24-17 Giants over the Cowboys. Let's put that in the chat. Cowboys did get that touchdown. And Minnesota's 4 minutes away from victory. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're in the fourth quarter of all of our Week 18 NFL games. There are a lot of different playoff implications happening right now. The one we're focusing on most, which is in the balance, is the Falcons and the Saints game. The winner of that game will send one of their other teams in the NFC South to the playoffs. If the Falcons are able to win, the Carolina Panthers will be going to the playoffs. If the New Orleans Saints win, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will be going to the playoffs. That is what's at stake right now. The Jacksonville Jaguars are on their way to winning the AFC South. They're up against the Tennessee Titans in the fourth quarter, 41-7. Again, Jacksonville looks like a Super Bowl contending team. Wins already over the Broncos a couple weeks ago. Jaguars are playing well. We have to wait till later to see Patriots, Broncos, who will get the first seed in the AFC. We're still waiting on that. We won't know till after the 4 p.m. games today. So got a bunch of action still to be decided, of course. A lot of other games later today also. But this interesting early set will help that. And then later tonight, Sunday Night Football, the last playoff situation will be decided when the Baltimore Ravens and the Pittsburgh Steelers play for the AFC North. That'll be a good one for sure and probably come down to the last couple of minutes. I agree that game will be decided probably by 4 points or less. Falcons get the ball back against the Saints. If the Falcons can get a field goal here on this drive and take it under 5 minutes, I think they're on their way to victory. So we'll see what the Falcons are able to come up with here. See if the Packers could get on the board at least before the end of this one. Some of these players in today will play their last games, by the way, also. We don't talk about that much, but there's a lot of players in the NFL who will be retiring today and playing their last games if they're not making the playoffs, obviously. So a couple in Minnesota. They're having another celebration in Minnesota, it looks like. As Smith is off the field. So a lot of these guys have played very long NFL careers on defense and the offensive line, so Green Bay's past midfield at least here. Might have a chance to get a touchdown. If they get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion, there is a chance that they could at least make this an interesting game for the last couple of minutes, but they'd have to get there first. Christian XC1 review covering Las Vegas and the world this coming week, January 6th to the 9th. The Consumer Electronics Show takes place here in Las Vegas. Las Vegas Convention Center, first big convention of the year. That's what's starting the year in Las Vegas in early January. Still got a full quarter left in Indy and Houston. 27-26 Indy over the Colts right now. Still got a whole quarter left there. Nine minutes and 40 seconds left still. The Giants get a field goal against the Cowboys. So the New York Giants are beating the Dallas Cowboys 27-17 right now in the fourth quarter. Falcons have the ball, 2nd and 6, 9 minutes left here in the 4th quarter. Let's see if Atlanta can get a first down. They'll be able to get that first down and more. Keep the ball moving down. If I'm Atlanta again, I just want to get at least down there and kick a field goal, a short field goal. That's what I'm looking for. If I can make this a 2-score game, you're probably on your way. Right now, Falcons first down. Keep that ball moving. That's what I want to do. Atlanta's got a 2nd and 18 after a loss of 8 yards there. Not a great way. Let's see what Atlanta can get back here on a screen pass. Nothing. It's going to be 3rd and 20 for Atlanta here. This is going to be a tough scenario. It looks like Atlanta will be putting the football unless they get a defensive penalty or something amazing here. Interception looks like potentially for Houston. Houston's still losing to Indianapolis 27-26. Yep, Riley Leonard with a pick there. Not a great interception, but moving along in the process. Long game here between Houston and Indianapolis. Long game. 3rd and 23 for New Orleans and Atlanta now. Incomplete pass. Atlanta will be punting the football. So New Orleans will have a chance to get the ball back, but they do need a touchdown and an extra point to take the lead. Dallas has got 9 minutes left to find a way to get the lead back. And that's going to be an interception. Giants are looking like they're going to pull an upset today against the Cowboys. I know a lot of people didn't expect that one, but it's looking more likely. Cincinnati's got 2 minutes left here. They're inside the Cleveland 5-yard line. The Bengals will have a chance here to take the lead. Cleveland has 3 timeouts left here. The Bengals have 0. Let's emphasize this. The Bengals have 0 timeouts. And Cincinnati found a way to get the lead here. But Shedeur Sanders will have a chance to show himself with 3 timeouts. 3 timeouts, ladies and gentlemen, 3 timeouts. We'll have a chance to show. We'll have a chance to show them there. And now they're going to go for 2. Eleven minutes and 50 seconds left in Houston and Indianapolis. Houston will probably be attempting a field goal attempt here. Let's see. I imagine they will. Okay, now Joe Burrow's on the field. Incomplete pass. So Cleveland can win the game with a field goal attempt. The field goal is up and good for Houston. 29-27 now. Houston with 11 minutes left. Let's put that in the chat. And the Giants are about to take a 3-score lead on the Cowboys here. That would be pretty incredible. Incomplete pass. If they're able to hold them to a field goal, the Cowboys would still have a chance here. Packers are trying to get a touchdown on the board to end the game here. Not going to get a run there. Will they call timeout? See if the Packers want to play. Packers are not even trying to here. You'd think they would want to at least get a couple of points. Nope. Maybe call timeout with a second left, kick a field goal. Touchdown, Giants. Looks like that the Packers will probably kick a field goal on 4th and 4 here. Yep, they will to end the game. So the Packers do not want to end their season with no points on the board at least. So for those of you who had a shutout today for the Green Bay Packers, you're about to lose that one. The kick is up, and it is good, and that will end that one. Final score, Minnesota 16, Green Bay 3. Minnesota finishes their season at 9-8. The Packers will head to the NFL wildcard round next week, probably playing the Bears. We'll see. It's a good chance. Kick is up. Extra point is good. Giants have put the exclamation point on the Cowboys season for the most part. Looks like there's no way that the Cowboys are getting 3 scores in 5 minutes, most likely. 34-17, Giants over the Cowboys. Final score, Minnesota 16, Green Bay 3. Saints have the ball at their own 30-yard line, 5 minutes and 40 seconds left. Again, Falcons trying to hold on. If the Falcons hold on, the Carolina Panthers will end up going to the NFC South. Saints are at midfield. Four minutes and 39 seconds left. Saints are inside the Atlanta Falcons 25-yard line, but they do need to get a touchdown. Both teams have all 3 timeouts. There's the 2-minute warning. So if the Saints score here and Atlanta is down to a last-second field goal to send the Panthers to the playoffs, it's going to be an incredible finish here. We'll see what ends up happening. We will see what ends up happening. 4 minutes left here. Can the Falcons play defense and hold the Saints? Can the Falcons play defense and hold the Saints? We shall see. Missed opportunity by the Falcons to probably get a field goal on that last drive had they played a little bit better on offense there. But here we are, 1 possession, 3 minutes and 40 seconds left in both these team seasons. Third and 7 coming up. See what Shedeur Sanders and the Browns can do. They're close to midfield. 31 seconds left there. Myles Garrett, 23 sacks in the season, NFL record today for the Browns. Incredible stuff. He'll be going to the Hall of Fame, I bet, obviously. Interception by the Falcons, and the Falcons are going to bail out the Carolina Panthers here. Defensive all the way back to around the 30 of New Orleans. What a big play. If you're a Carolina Panthers player or fan right now, you are elated. If you're a Tampa Bay Buccaneers fan, you are not elated by that. If I'm the Atlanta Falcons, I rush the ball 3 times and I kick the field goal. There is nothing else that I want to do on this upcoming drive. There is no reason to do anything risky. Rush the ball 3 times, kick the field goal, take the 2-possession lead with 3 minutes left. That is what I'm doing if I'm the Atlanta Falcons right now. Falcons are on their way to victory if they can do that. If they can do that as well, they're on their way to victory. And additionally, let's emphasize again, additionally, on their way to victory. And with that being said, also giving the Carolina Panthers a chance to be in the NFC South. So, behind the Falcons, I'm just rushing the ball 3 times to win this football game. There is no way that I'm throwing the ball here. They're going to run on first down, as I predicted. They'll be inside the New Orleans 23-yard line. Let's see if New Orleans wants to use their timeouts here or not. They've got all 3. They may hold them. We'll see. It's 27-29, Houston and Indianapolis. Still 8 minutes left there. What's going on in Cincy and Cleveland? Cleveland is at the Cincinnati 36-yard line, so it does look like there is going to be a field goal attempt for the Cleveland Browns at some point here. If Shedeur Sanders is able to walk off with the victory here, all the credit to him to end the year. They're able to walk off. End the season with a victory. They are in field goal range, but it's outside in the winter in January in Cincinnati. That will not be an easy scenario. One bit. Falcons are going to rush it again, as I predicted they would. I think the Saints will use their second timeout here. Shedeur went for it all. Incomplete pass. I don't know why you're doing that crazy stuff. You should be playing for yards to get field goal range there. See, if he throws the interception, everybody writes him off. But since he threw an incomplete pass there, they're not going to say anything. I mean, it wasn't a bad throw, but I'd be trying to get yards here. I'd be trying to get yards. That's what I'd be working on here, is I'd be trying to get yards. All right, here, 3rd and 8 for the Browns. You want to get a couple of yards here, at least if you're the Browns. And they do. It's going to be about a 50-yard field goal attempt. If I'm the Browns, I take the timeout going down to about 3 seconds here. And the Falcons will run the ball again, 3rd consecutive time down to the 20-yard line. Saints will use their last timeout. Falcons will kick a 37-yard field goal attempt. Again, no reason to rush the ball at all there. You get the Saints using all their timeouts, and here's a chance for the Saints the Falcons to take a 2-possession lead on the Saints. That's what I'm thinking about right now. If I'm the New Orleans Saints, that's what I'm thinking about right now, is I got to block this field goal attempt. If I'm the Falcons, I realize if I make this, we walk off, and the Carolina Panthers are going to the playoffs, which they should, by the way. They played so much better than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers over the last 5 or 6 weeks. They are more deserving of their playoffs. The win over the Rams at home, beating the Cowboys, beating the Dolphins. To me, the Buccaneers lost the Dolphins last week. Kick is up, and it's good, and the Browns are going to walk off with a victory, but there's a penalty flag. Wait a minute, penalty flag, Cleveland Browns, penalty flag, penalty flag, penalty flag, penalty flag, and penalty flag. Here's that Falcons field goal attempt. Very important kick here. That's going to be good. 19-10, Atlanta over the Saints. 3 minutes left for the Carolina Panthers to get there. There was a penalty on the Bengals, and the Cleveland Browns are going to walk off and finish their NFL season with the victory, 20-18. Myles Garrett gets the sack leadership, and the Browns will finish their season with 5 wins and 12 losses. Congratulations to the Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett. He has the most sacks now by any defensive player in the history of the NFL, 23 today, getting that sack on Joe Burrow, the Cincinnati Bengals quarterback. Not a great ending for the Bengals season, just not a great ending there. So we'll look on that. Final score, Cleveland 20, Cincinnati 18. And update, of course, Atlanta 19, New Orleans 10. (29-27) Houston over Indy. There's about 4 minutes left there. That game is finally caught up on the rest of these games. Finally caught up on all of us. Indy's in the red zone, looking to take the lead here. So we might have an exciting finish here between Houston and Indianapolis. Indy, of course, is at least in field goal range. Got 3 games remaining. The Giants have the ball against the Cowboys. That's pretty much over. Christian C1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. We're getting down to the end here. NFL Live reaction, Week 18 playoff implications. Got a couple minutes left in Atlanta. If Atlanta holds on, Carolina goes. We'll see. New Orleans is going to need to score and then do an onside kick, obviously, here to keep this one interesting. 2 minutes and 42 seconds left in Atlanta. Atlanta holding on to a 9-point lead. Carolina 2 minutes away from beating the NFC South champions and going to the playoffs. Kick is up and good. It's like an extra point, literally. Indianapolis takes the lead back on Houston, 30-29. 2 minutes and 39 seconds left there. And Philip Rivers' NFL career is always on the sideline today for Riley Leonard, but this will be the last time Philip Rivers is ever on an NFL sideline, but the Colts are winning 30-29. Saints have a 3rd and 6 here. They'll be short, 4th and 1. Saints got to hurry. This is it for them. If they don't get the first down here, the Falcons can pretty much milk the clock and get out of here with a victory. This is it right now for the Buccaneers. If the Saints do not get this. And they're going to push forward, and I don't know where that spot's going to be. They're going to give them a first down. 2 minutes left in Atlanta. Atlanta 19, New Orleans 10, but it is a first down. Raheem Morris wanted to challenge the spot on the field. I don't know what's going to happen there, but for the moment, it's 1st and 10. I don't think he's going to get that call. So here we are. Giants are 2 minutes away from beating the Cowboys today. Pretty impressive stuff. Jaguars just all over the Tennessee Titans today, 41-7. Let's put that in the chat. Jacksonville wins the AFC South. Jacksonville, again, is ready to, in my opinion, go to the Super Bowl. They're a good team. So there we are on that front. And we are 2 minutes away from Carolina, the Carolina Panthers being the NFC South champions, which is well-deserved again. And a great thing for sure. So we'll see if that's able to hold steady there. Giants have a 2nd and 26 with 2 minutes left. I'm just running the football. I mean, Dallas still has 3 timeouts remaining. Interesting to see if Dallas will use their timeouts here for any reason. Nope, doesn't look like Dallas is going to use their timeouts. So they have conceded that they're not winning. Houston will have 2 minutes and 39 seconds left to beat Indianapolis. It's 30-29, probably the most exciting and fun game of the first group of games today. That's for sure. See what the Texans can do here with CJ Stroud and company. See if they can put a victory on the board. Again, putting a victory on the board locks in their wild card playoff spot. If they don't get that and the Chargers are able to win today, Justin Herbert's not playing against the Broncos, then the Chargers would move up. So interesting scenario in that regard, but Texans got to get there first. If both teams lose, Houston and the Chargers will stay in the same playoff position. Christianic C1 review covering Las Vegas in the world. Most exciting city in the world. New Orleans is inside the 20, 30-yard line of Atlanta. No timeouts remaining, down 19-10, a minute 45 to go here. New Orleans at least will be in point range, so I'm guessing we're going to see at least a onside kick attempt here, depending on what ends up happening. If I'm Atlanta, I just want to tackle New Orleans in the field of play. They don't have any timeouts left. Time is not on their side. That is what I want to do if I'm New Orleans right now, if I'm Atlanta right now and I'm the Atlanta defense. Give them yards, give them some field, but they're milking the clock here. That's what they're looking for. Touchdown New Orleans with 1 minute and 11 seconds left here. It's going to be a touchdown by Ronnie Bell. So if Atlanta can get the onside kick, Carolina will win this football game. It's going to come down to an onside kick with 1 minute and 11 seconds left here. Both the Buccaneers and the Carolina Panthers will be watching. This is the play of the year for both teams here right now. Extra points coming up first. And obviously, you do not want that extra point blocked in return for 2 points here. That would be the worst possible thing that could happen for the New Orleans Saints here. Kick is up, and it's good. 19-17, Atlanta over New Orleans. It's all going to come down to this onside kick right now. See if Atlanta can get the ball. If they get the ball, they send Carolina to the playoffs. Final score is over. New York Giants beat the Dallas Cowboys today. Surprising. New York Giants win their 4th game of the NFL year, finished 4-13 on the season. They beat the Dallas Cowboys 34-17. Put that in the chat. Okay, here we go. Can the Atlanta Falcons recover the onside kick to send the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs? We've been waiting for this moment for months, like 6 or 7 weeks at least. But it's So let's see what happens. I think the Saints and Tyler Shaw have a quarterback for the future. He's played very well this year. Not a lot of expectations for the Saints this year. They do have 6 victories. I think that was more than most people were expecting. They were expecting them to be one of the worst teams in the NFL. So all the hats off to the Saints for hanging in there. Falcons are going to finish 8-9 if they end up getting this one. Falcons is a what could have been situation with Kirk Cousins. Here we go. Let's see if the Falcons can get the onside kick. And it looks like the Falcons have got the ball, and the Carolina Panthers are going to go to the playoffs, as long as Kirk Cousins does not botch the snap here. Perfect play. Got it. He's down. He literally fumbled it while going down, but he rolled on top of it. Falcons are on their way. So let's just get a couple of knees on the board and get this over with. That was a pretty bad special teams play by both teams, unfortunately. But the Carolina Panthers are going to the playoffs. Congratulations, Carolina. Let's just get those knees on the field officially so we can officially mark this one as a final and done. Good knee there. One more knee by Kirk Cousins. And the Carolina Panthers have won the NFC South. Congratulations to the Carolina Panthers. Bryce Young had 2 very challenging seasons. This year, they are going to get there in his 3rd season. It's well-deserved. Congratulations to Bryce Young and the Carolina Panthers. Again, I think it's one of the greatest turnaround stories in the NFL this year, seeing the Panthers. Last couple of years, 2, 3, 4 victories, whatever it might be, they're going to end up in the playoffs. Winning the NFC South. Bye-bye, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good luck. Try again. You don't class go. You don't collect $200. Congratulations to the Carolina Panthers. They have won today. They are going to the NFC. They've won the NFC South. They're going to the playoffs, even though they lost yesterday. Congrats. Atlanta defeats New Orleans 19-17 to send the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs. Put that in the chat. All right, we got one game left here, 1 minute 42 seconds left. Houston and Indianapolis. Indianapolis is up 30-29. By the way, kickoffs are about to begin here in the entertainment capital of the world. Raiders and Chiefs, last game of the Raiders regular season is about to begin here. Enjoy for those of you going today. If the Raiders somehow lose, they'll be in 20 minutes. If somehow the Raiders lose, they will get the first pick in the NFL draft. And Travis Kelce may be his last game. Taylor Swift's fiance might be his last game as an NFL player. So that's what's on the line today in Kansas City and the Raiders. Also late 4 o'clock games, the Bills and the Jets, the Lions and the Bears, the Patriots and the Dolphins, of course, as well. The Broncos and the Chargers, first place implications on the line. New England, Miami, Broncos, Chargers in the AFC. Those are implications that are on the line. So that's what we're looking at for the late games, and Commanders taking on the Eagles. So a lot of NFL games to end the season. Texans seem like they're motivated, but not motivated enough here. With 30 seconds left, they're going to move the ball as close as they can to field goal range. But if the Houston Texans win, what a sad way for the Colts, losing at least 7 games to end the year here. Colts do have 1 timeout remaining. They're going to use it here, I think, on the 4th down, and that's what they did. So the Colts will still have about 10 seconds left and at least a Hail Mary pass if the Texans make this field goal. If the Texans miss this field goal, well, yeah, that's basically about it. Interesting enough, the Texans still have 3 timeouts remaining, but 14 seconds. Be kind of hard to get the ball back. But the Texans have all their timeouts remaining still, which is kind of crazy. So they were really using that. So Kami Fairbairn is back on the field. Fairbairn is back on the field for the Texans here. Let's see what we get. Kick is up. It's going to be up in a second. 43-yard kick is up. And that's going to be good. 12 seconds left for the Colts. They will have a chance still. That field goal attempt is good. 32-30. Houston over Indy. 12 seconds remaining there. We'll be here. We'll stay here for that 12 seconds before we recap the day. But that's basically what we've got left here is Houston's up on Indy 32-30. 12 seconds remaining in that one. Updates, of course, again, the Jacksonville Jaguars have won the AFC South Division going to the playoffs. They beat the Tennessee Titans 41-7. And the Carolina Panthers are going to the playoffs. Thankfully, the Atlanta Falcons send them to the playoffs by beating the Saints 19-17. The Carolina Panthers have won the NFC South. Tampa Bay will be in their offseason now, even after beating the Panthers yesterday due to tiebreakers. The Falcons, Buccaneers, and Panthers all are 8-9, and Carolina wins those tiebreakers to send them to the playoffs. Congrats to the Falcons on finishing the season 8-9. Congrats to the Vikings on finishing the season 9-8, beating the Green Bay Packers 16-3. Just a reminder, Las Vegas conventions start this week, January 6th to the 9th, the Consumer Electronics Show, and we're only a couple months away from pool season in Las Vegas as well. Can you believe it? Spring break will be here before you know it. I know the year just started, but winter is going to come and blow through quickly, and we'll be right there. You'll see. It'll be here before you know it. Indy's going to return the kick here. Not very much. 25-yard line, 5 seconds remaining. So the Colts will have one pass play here, attempt to try to finish their season with 9 victories. If not, they will finish 8-9 on the year. Texans are going to lock themselves into a wild card playoff position spot with this victory today. Chargers cannot jump the Texans because of the tiebreaker. The Texans beat the Chargers last week in Los Angeles. So that's where we are right now. 5 seconds remaining here in the early NFL action. And all of today's late games are kicking off at 4:25. Probably was done on purpose to give some time in between here. 5 seconds remaining. Texans are going to take a timeout to get their defense ready for this last play here. Don't you like the division games to end the year? They actually do have playoff implications. Obviously, the Steelers and the Ravens will decide the AFC North later tonight. Colts are doing a hook and lateral, pitchy woo-woo. See if they can keep that moving along. And no, they're not going to be able to. And the Texans are going to walk off with a defensive touchdown to seal that game. The Houston Texans are on their way to the playoffs, 12-5. Tommy Togian ending the season with a defensive touchdown. If you had the Houston Texans defense, you might be happy right now if you're in a fantasy league. Final score in Houston 38, Indianapolis 20. So let's review final scores today. Here's what we learned. Atlanta sends the Carolina Panthers to the playoffs. Carolina will win the AFC South. The Falcons beat the Saints 19-17. The Cleveland Browns end their season with a victory 20-18 over the Bengals on a last-second field goal attempt. Browns finish the season 5-12. Bengals fall to 6-11. Nice victory today by the Cleveland Browns. I don't think many people expected the Browns to beat the Bengals after how the Bengals played. the last couple of weeks against the Dolphins and the Arizona Cardinals. Vikings finished with 5 consecutive victories to end the year. Will not make the playoffs, but they do finish the season 9-8. The Lions are in last place right now in the NFC North. They can get back to 9-8 with a victory today against the Bears, but that's basically what we're looking at right now. 16-3 Vikings over the Packers. Packers had nothing to play for today. Finished the season 9-7-1. They'll be in the wild card round next week. Giants finished the year 4-13. Very impressive win over the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas talked all week about how they were going to use this game to build momentum going into next year. They lose this game. Not a very good. Division road games are always tough. We always talk about that. Giants beat the Cowboys today, finished 4-13 on the year, 34-17. Giants finished with 2 consecutive victories against the Raiders and the Cowboys today. And finally, the Jacksonville Jaguars wrap up, win the AFC South title. We'll wait and see now what happens for their playoff seeding purposes with what Denver and New England do in the late games. Jacksonville 41, Tennessee 7. Tennessee finishes 3-14. Tennessee will be a top 5 draft pick. Just to recap, so what did we learn today? The Carolina Panthers are going to the playoffs. They win the NFC South. Texans win the 5th seed for the wild card, but the Jaguars will win the AFC South. We'll be back tonight at 9 o'clock Las Vegas time, midnight Eastern, to go over the playoff picture. Tom will be here to break it all down for us in the chat. He'll be here to help us discuss. Congratulations to the Carolina Panthers. Again, now from the entertainment capital of the world, kickoff is about to begin in 9 minutes. The Chiefs will play the Raiders. The Raiders are finishing up their 2025 NFL season. Hopefully they can finish it with a victory today against the Chiefs. It might be, again, Travis Kelce's last game. The great NFL tight end, of course, the famously in pop culture is Taylor Swift's fiance. We shall see if this is Travis Kelce's last game of the year. Congrats again to the Texans, to the Panthers, and to the Jaguars, who all added to their playoff implications this year. We shall see you again back here tonight at 9 o'clock. Again, thank you so very much for watching, whether you watch a minute, 10 minutes, an hour, or multiple hours, whether they're recorded or live. Thank you so much. Go over to the main channel, watch our interview with Las Vegas headliner Murray the Magician. Also go over to the main channel and please watch our interview with the president of Tough Enough, the MMA promotion based here in Las Vegas for more than 30 years, Jeff Meyer. Their upcoming show is at the Palms on January 22nd. We'll be there. We look forward to it. I'm Christian Nick for C1 Interview. Enjoy the rest of your NFL Sunday. We'll see you back here tonight at 9 p.m. for our review of the day and the playoff picture and the playoff matchups. Looking forward to seeing what those playoff matchups have. I'm so grateful to all of you who are here as always. Have a great rest of your NFL Sunday. See you later today. See you later this evening. And have a good rest of your Sunday. Take care.